Welcome everybody to season 3. Why are you laughing?
She just like the second that you went, she was like,
oh, she is
Zena.
Maria's dog.
Zena, please.
Okay, I'm putting her down. Maria's dog is in the studio,
I want
obviously.
her to have her season 3 welcome, and she's ruining it.
She just licked into my mouth.
All dogs do that to you.
Welcome to season 3 of Books and Betches. Not to be confused with Books and
Betches. Musical right out the bat.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Erica.
And Maria.
What up?
It's been a while.
Yo, we haven't recorded. We might have messed up.
By we I
fucked
mean
up.
Technology messed up.
Did we tell him?
Why not?
All right. We messed up.
But it was
fucked
also,
up.
it worked out because it was our season finale that did get recorded.
Yeah, we recorded 5 episodes last time we were here, and only one of them recorded because we're dumb.
No.
Yeah.
I am not going to say I'm dumb because I didn't touch it.
Either way, now we're back, and we're going to re-record 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not this one. This one's a fresh one.
This is fresh.
Yeah, so...
Fresh off the presses.
Season 3. If you've been with us since season 1, like if you joined with us, man...
We love you.
That's incredible. We do. We love you. And if you've gone back and listened, and like we hear a lot about people binge listening, which is insane. But
Yeah.
That you guys just listen to us for 6 hours straight.
I love that. Like that's so cool.
That's dedication.
I wish I could like jump through the sound waves and hang out with you.
The sound waves.
Yeah.
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 So if you're like listening and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm hanging out with my girls. You're like, what's up?
That is
How
the
you
vibe. That's
doing?
always been the vibe. The vibe is
Yeah.
that we just want you to hang out with us.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
Hey.
we might have gotten our first negative review.
We did.
We got our first negative
We did.
review. It was a little, I mean, listen, it was constructive. There was a few jabs, and that's fine.
Am I like awake at night because of it? Probably.
Here's the thing, like it honestly put this whole thing into perspective for me, where I was driving and I was like thinking about this review, and I was like, why am I thinking about this? Like, this isn't something that should bother me in any sense. So we have like a bunch of people who tell us how awesome we are every day, and then this one person just doesn't. Sorry, Uber Eats. This one person doesn't like what we do, and that's okay. Like,
Well, it was 2 because it's her and her mom.
Shit.
I mean, like, it's bound to happen, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We are very unlikable in certain ways.
I'm so
said,
unlikable.
John said you don't make it until you have a hater.
My
I
dad's the
don't-
same thing. My
here's
dad's like,
the
now
thing.
you've really made it.
I don't
Yeah.
want to call her a hater, though.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I wouldn't
she
call her a
hates
hater.
our podcast.
She didn't say that.
She just didn't prefer it.
Yeah.
And that's fine, dude.
It wasn't her
a
cup of
hater.
tea.
At the same time, she made some very fair points that I would
Dude,
like
that
to
were
point.
chaotic. Fuck
I don't
yeah.
want anybody to go back and like find this review. I don't
And,
know
like,
if you can even
comfort her?
comment.
I don't
Yeah,
even know.
because like honestly, like everybody has their like this is all subjective. Art is subjective, right? I'm not calling this art in any sense of the word, but art is
This
subjective.
is art. I am an artist.
Yeah, I mean like what you like, I don't like. So whatever. I
Yeah.
don't care. Either way, she made some valid points. I want everyone to understand something. We don't plan shit. We don't. I'm not
We
gonna
tried to in the beginning.
No, listen, I do.
And it didn't.
I look at it in front of you. I have it written out of what I want to say. But the thing is, we get so into it
Yeah.
and we start
Because
chatting.
the best part of our podcast is when we go off on the tangent.
Yeah, our
That's
tangents
what
are the
people
best.
love about it.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I don't know if that's what they love.
it's a if we had an hour-long show, I would understand more structure, and maybe that's why the Court of One that she ended up listening to, that one's a 3-hour episode. Yeah,
That was heavy.
but it did have
It was
structure
rough.
in the sense that like we went through each book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally we have half-hour episodes, and they're fucking chaotic.
I want to say I don't want to harp on this review. I just want to bring up a point that I thought about because of said review.
Yeah.
Is that I mean, we all have full-time jobs. We are not ever going to plan. So, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit personally. I don't know about y'all. I'm not going to sit down and write out like 6 pages. Like, I love doing this podcast because I like to just sit here and bullshit. So
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, to no avail. I just want to say if you have any feedback, holler at us and know that it's probably not going to change.
Listen,
We're just gonna do
we
whatever the
we
fuck
we
want.
love.
We hear you.
If you
we
love
feel
it,
you.
Bro, we don't have
We
sponsors.
agree with you.
Yeah,
but we're
we-
not gonna change anything.
Like, I wholeheartedly agree. There was points where I was nodding my head. I was like, that is absolutely
No,
right.
I was reading and I was like, for sure. I've been
Yeah.
saying it since episode 1.
I just
it's
hate how
fucking
much
chaos.
I just
but-
hate that like I was driving and thinking about it. And I was like, man, I'm a piece of shit.
I didn't think about it once afterwards.
Because it's Erica.
That's so dope. I
Erica,
had
Erica
that.
had
has
it
this
once.
gift where she doesn't give a fuck.
I feel like I want to please everybody.
I just
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot about
I want
it.
everybody to be fucking happy.
That's what
I
I
forgot
want.
that review existed.
That's so awesome.
Good for you. Well,
Well,
on that
anyway, I
note,
spent way too much time talking about that.
You'll cut it up
Season
later.
3. Listen, hey, we're coming in with a pretty something that's been talked about. I think. Maybe.
People have requested this episode over and over and over again.
See, I didn't know that.
Yes.
because you're not on our socials.
Oh, our Instagram books_n_Betches.
The one thing you do know.
BETCHES. Fuck you. I edit all of these.
Talking about the Instagram. So we're covering Shadow and Bone today.
Yes.
And
Thanks for
if you
keeping me on
follow
track.
us on Instagram, you would have known while I was doing a wonderful thing of celebrating all of our wins for the week. As I'm looking through our story, I see that our lovely Erica had gone on and said, "Oh, guys, I'm watching the Shadow and Bone show. We were supposed to cover the book, and I didn't read the book. I'm just gonna watch the show."
Yeah. Preface. We had a conversation.
We had a meeting,
twice.
a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, a Zoom
Very
meeting,
true.
multiple text messages.
Yep.
Literally all Maria and I suggested and requested was please just don't watch the show. Just
Yeah,
read the
that's
book.
literally what we said.
Erica, you read
It
so
was- it
fast.
was
You'll read it
literally-
quick.
It's such a fast book.
said
Erica
that.
will read it in a
It
day.
was the only thing that you guys said about it.
Yeah, and then what did you do? You watched the show. That's
I
fucking-
read 80 pages of the book, and then I didn't read any other books. I did not. It's not like I was reading other books.
No, that doesn't make me feel better.
No,
It does.
a little
No,
bit. A little.
doesn't.
I would have been more upset if, let's say,
If I
she
killed,
only
like,
read
10 books this
80
week.
pages and then went off to read an erotica for a whole 20 book series.
Here's why I'm upset.
I'd get pissed.
Here's why I'm upset. I read 5 books for this podcast. I moved and I worked so much, and I just feel like I never do that. So coming in,
you don't.
So coming into this podcast, I was like, oh, I was all chipper. I walked in, I was like, yo, we all did this thing. We all supported each
Little
other.
did you know that Erica betrayed us.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Yep.
So I had my shower last weekend, and then you know
when she said shower, I was like, she showered for once.
my first shower. I had 2 showers, so I had my other shower last weekend. I had a lot going on during the week with I had some wedding stuff.
Okay. I don't care.
I didn't end up reading anything.
Okay, nothing.
We talked about this Wednesday, I think. Tuesday?
Definitely Monday.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday.
The week flew by.
Okay. All right. So you watched it.
So
and
then-
you didn't read it.
So then this weekend came by. I had a bunch of wedding stuff due on Saturday.
Oh, she's still going.
I couldn't read,
Okay.
so I decided to watch.
It's justified. Are you happy now?
It's not. It's not justified. It's absolutely
but
not
that's what
justified.
you wanted me to say.
It's only
the most egregious.
358 pages, and you couldn't even. You went through 80.
I went through
Could've easily done
80, and I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna agree with it.
Nope.
But it was fucking boring.
I don't agree with it, but that's okay. Well, then who
It's
wants to
'cause
do?
there was no
You're
smut.
not doing the 60 seconds. I think Maria, you got to do the 60 seconds.
Well, I could do
I
the
can't
60
even remember
seconds
their
for the show.
names. No, fuck you.
No, we're not. No. Fine, I'll do this.
Listen, I just want to say we are talking about the Shadow and Bone book. We will mention the show now because we have to. But if you haven't read it, who is this by?
Leigh Bardugo.
Oh, I love Leigh Bardugo.
Yeah.
I think she's my new favorite author.
Yeah, one of my new favorite. Yep.
Just saying.
You have to say your spiel.
Oh,
Triple S's.
This podcast is Triple S season 3. No, just kidding. We're gonna spoil. We're gonna swear. We're gonna talk about sex. If you haven't read this book yet, I highly suggest you go read this book because we are going to spoil it. There are how many books in this series?
3.
There's 3 books.
But then there's
2
the
spin-offs.
duology
Whoa, I didn't know. all
spinoff, which is the Six of Crows duology.
this. When did
And
this
Crooked
book
Kingdom, right?
come out?
This book, I can't tell you right now. I have to look at my Goodreads. Hold on. June 5th, 2012.
Oh, it came out in 2012.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Why is
It's-
everybody
it's-
talking
it's
about it now?
Because the show came out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the show was
Well,
coming out, and so everybody was like, "Let me get on it." And because the show has the Six of Crows stuff, which I think is a newer duology.
Six of Crows was 2015.
Yeah, I hear about that one a lot.
Crooked
But
Kingdom, everyone gets broken by it.
I'm halfway through the second of
Siege and
Shadow
Storm?
and Bone.
Siege and Storm, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's called.
whatever it's called. So, so I think we are just doing the first book. This podcast is just the first book.
Yes,
This episode.
because I haven't read the second book.
Yes.
Sweet. And Erica only watched the show. So
From what I'm told, the show covers the first book,
yeah, with some,
but
more.
it's covering some of the Six of Crows stuff. because it has the characters.
Well, that makes sense because my friend Kate watched Shadow and Bone. This is how I even heard about it. She reached out to me and she was like, hey, I watched the show. I think you would like it. And I was like, that's a book that we were talking about doing. I was like, I'm going to read it anyway. And then she messaged me. She's like, I actually liked the show so much that I went and read the book. And she was like, I just am confused because there's characters that are in the show that aren't in the book.
It's the Six of Crows characters.
Is that what it is?
So I think
Okay.
what happened, and I'm going to shit on this, but basically like the story wasn't rotund enough.
Whoa. Working definition. Rotund.
Like
Like
we didn't have enough girth.
Beefy enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
there wasn't enough girth in the actual storyline, so they needed to add more characters to give it a little bit more.
I mean, it's not
For a
it's
show.
not a unique storyline.
No. What is this? Young adult? Let's go
Young
into the
adult.
genre before
It's
we
young
do this.
adult.
Okay.
Definitely young adult.
Yeah, of course.
Chosen one trope.
Yeah.
Chosen one trope. I don't even.
Bit of a love triangle.
friends to lovers, I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah, friends to lovers.
All right. Well,
I don't even know.
let's do a 60 seconds and then we can get into this. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We do this thing on the show where we try to explain the entire plot of the book in 60 seconds or less. This is a fun thing we do. So
Yeah, it's so fun.
Maria is going to, because I can't even remember a single character's name. I read this so long ago because, we were supposed
I
to do
read
this
it long
one.
ago.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember their names?
I wrote them down.
Great. Then you're good. All right. So Maria's going to do the 60 seconds.
I gotta say before we go in,
Let me get this timer.
I started this book at the height of my reading slump. Like the worst slump I've ever been in.
I remember
it was
that.
like 2 months of like barely any books read. So I started this book April 23rd. I finished it June 13th.
Damn.
Wow.
It took me ages to get through, and not because it was bad.
Yeah.
It's just I had no desire to read.
It's a weird feeling when I could
hate
be
slumps.
I could be so invested in a book.
Yeah,
And
I was
I just
invested.
won't want to pick it up.
Yeah,
Isn't that wild?
it was trash.
All right,
Okay.
ready?
Let me. I guess I'm good.
Yeah, don't think. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Alina Starkov is an orphan who is now in the military as a cartographer. Like, she draws maps and stuff. And they are going into what's called the Fold, the Shadow Fold. It's like this big ass void of darkness that just has evil things inside. She and her best friend from the orphanage, Mal, are going into this fold. While they're in there, these evil things are attacking, and she sees that Mal's getting attacked. As he's getting attacked, she goes after him, tries to save him. She emits this crazy light. It's like this like sun
30 seconds.
Damn, this sunlight that comes out. They realize she might be a sunbringer who can defeat these people in the Shadowfold, so they get brought into the Grecias. They're like this like elite force of magical beings. She works for the Darkling, and so he's trying to get her to work for him to continue the
15
fold.
seconds.
And as they're doing that, she realizes he might have nefarious reasons, and so she escapes. And it's this whole thing of that's it. That's basically it.
5 seconds to spare. Whoop, whoop. That was pretty good.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like the thing about Shadow and Bone, I feel like the first book is a very big setup book,
Yeah.
which is normally you see it as a second book.
Yeah, I agree with Erica. There isn't too much substance. When I was first reading this, I was like, where are we going with this? Like, why do I give a shit about this? I had one of those feelings.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But one thing that I love about Leigh Bardugo's writing, because I've only read this is the second book of hers I've ever read, but
Same.
something that I love about her writing, she is not afraid to dive into her worlds. She doesn't give a fuck if you don't know what
Yep.
she's talking about.
Yep.
She doesn't
First
care.
you lost me.
Oh, I love that. I was like, because I mean, you figure it out, right? You start to figure it out.
Figure the context out.
She throws words at you. She's just
As
like,
if you should know what they mean.
you're in this world. Get used to it.
That's what I was so like. The first like 20 pages, I was like, "What the fuck am I reading right now?"
You would hate Ninth House then.
I was like, I am so confused. I have no idea what these words are. What's Kazakhstan? Like, what are these? Like, I don't recognize any of these things. They don't repeat themselves. I was like all over the place. I will say though, like, I don't know if you got this from the book, but from the show, I got. I don't know if you watched Carnival Row with Cara Delevingne.
I never watched it.
I
but I've
started
heard
it,
about
but I didn't finish it. Like all
Carnival
shows.
Row plus Peaky Blinders
Whoa.
plus
Okay.
Stranger Things.
Those are all
the
very
Peaky
good
Blinders.
shows.
The Peaky Blinders part is coming from Six of Crows.
Yes.
Okay,
cast.
wait, time out, because a lot of my friends love Peaky Blinders.
But no, it was also like the vibe of like this. It was.
I wouldn't say I watched episode 1. From episode 1,
What?
You could see what I'm
and that's why I
talking
decided
about?
to stop
Okay.
because I didn't want to. Because I saw Kaz in them, and I was like, I want to meet them through pages. I don't want to meet them like from a show iteration. What were you asking me?
So did you get Peaky Blinders in the book at all?
No,
Not at all.
So it's probably only
you
Six of
get it
Crows.
from Six of Crows.
So
Okay.
my question then, before we even go into it, is: did you enjoy the show?
It was good, not great.
You just named 3 of the arguably some of the best shows.
best shows.
I
Good, not
haven't
great.
seen Carnival Row, so I don't know. And then you said
Visually pretty good. There were some times where you could tell their budget was lacking.
yeah.
I just don't think it's that strong of a story. And I think that's where
and
it fell.
I can
Yeah.
agree with you there. I can agree with you. It's not a strong story. It's very much the basic ass chosen one trope. Only she can defeat them because she's the only
Bad guy.
sunbringer they've had. There's that one bad guy who she has an attraction to because he's the bad guy, and then it's very
The
basic.
Darkling, Ben Barnes is
hot.
the actor. The Darkling is probably top 3 hottest villains.
I don't know. I think that I think that the chosen one trope and they've been done 1,000 times, but I enjoy every iteration of it that I read.
100%.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch season 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here being like the show is trash. Everything about this story is trash. I'm just saying it was good.
Yeah.
Wasn't great.
All right.
I'm having such a tough. A follower sent us a whole spiel about Shadow and Bone and how the terminology that Leigh Bardugo uses are like basic ass Russian words.
I'm not surprised.
like I think Grisha means Greg. Like
Really?
it's like apparently some of the definitions that are used within the book as if world building things
Yeah.
are basic ass weird chosen things of Russian language.
Well, I wonder if that was on purpose or accidental.
I don't know. I think I might have
It's
read
so-
an interview of hers that was
Yeah.
like
There's
she
so
doesn't
many
care.
words. There's so many words in the world, right? In
So
every
many.
single language. Like, it is bound to happen where you create a word, but it's already created.
It definitely feels like the book was based off of a Russian culture. Like
Sure. Yeah.
I think you have to because you can't just pull random words out of your asshole all the time.
Well, if you're a good writer, you can.
it's tough.
It is tough. I mean, you're just throwing shit at the wall at that point. Hoping
Yeah,
it
you're
sticks.
literally a glue glue glue.
But I
what does
don't.
this mean?
I gotta say, I thank all of you for writing us.
glue,
I thank. Oh my god. I thank all of you for writing us messages because right now I can't find this girl's message from all the messages we have.
Well, the Darkling is a stupid name.
I don't even know where it came from.
yeah, I don't know
It's
why
not in the show, right?
it is.
No.
It's
It
not in the
wasn't.
show.
It
No, they don't
wasn't.
call him the
No.
Darkling at all in the
They
show.
don't call him the Darkling in the
That's
show.
the other thing Kate said to me. She was like,
No.
what threw
They
me for
didn't
a
call him
loop.
a general, like General something.
General Krishna.
Okay.
I don't know. She said it threw me for a loop when I started reading the book, and I didn't know who the Darkling was. And she goes, "That's the dumbest name I've ever heard."
It's pretty dumb.
I was like, "The Darkling is really dumb.
Yeah.
that's really dumb.
It's
That's really fucking dumb."
It is. It is.
I don't want to go on a tangent
no.
about names or anything, but that's really fucking dumb.
it's a silly name.
It's dumb.
It's silly.
No, not just
It's
silly. It's
silly.
just dumb.
I don't think I'm going to offend anybody because I don't know any Darklings out there.
So
but
I
if
do
that's your
want to
last
mention
name,
the
that's
name
cool.
thing. So we went into I don't remember who the fuck said it, but somebody said somewhere that we went off on a name tangent thing, and they were like, "What did you expect them to call?" I think it was about A Court of
It was
Thorns and
that.
Roses.
It was
and they were
you.
like,
You.
They said,
"What
"What,
did you expect to call
Greg?"
him?" Oh,
Yeah,
it was
Greg,
that.
Tim.
And it's no,
Which is
call
kinda
him
so funny.
something cool like Wraith or something. Those are
Yeah.
cool ass fucking names.
That's the guy
agree.
from Kingdom of the Wicked.
We're
Gotta read
not
that
saying
book.
every single
Or
made
how
up
about
name.
all of these names in this book were cool?
Her name is Alina.
Kaz,
Kaz Brecker,
Malaric, or what his name
Yeah.
was? Mal something.
Mal. There's Mal.
I didn't like Mel, but I
Maloric.
I loved Elena. I loved I don't know who the fuck Kaz is. Why do you keep saying
He's
Kaz?
from Six of Crows.
He's from Six of Crows.
Oh, okay.
He's
well,
in the show.
Inej was the other one in Six
In
of
the
Crows.
show.
Matthias.
In the show.
yeah, those are cool names.
All
Yeah,
cool
those are all
names.
good names.
Not
Yeah.
fucking John or Bob.
Sarah J. Moss is just a
Sarah J. Maas just sucks at writing names.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not this is all I'm gonna say about it, and this person's probably never gonna listen to this episode. But Sarah J. Maas blows dick at names.
No, she adds that into the book.
what?
You dog.
She reads just a bunch of smut.
Yeah,
If you would have read A Court of Silver Flames, it's just
It's just all dick sucking.
it's such a it's just that's all Nesta did really
But
in
yes.
that book.
So
Anyway.
the Darkling is a stupid name. He was not the Darkling in the show. Great added benefit,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
The thing with the show, and I'm telling you this as the person who read 80 pages of the book. I read the book, and like you said, I was in the world. I was getting confused. The names were all over the place. Everything didn't make sense. And then I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to watch the show because it's going to be just as confusing. But usually with shows, you can just keep watching and you eventually get it.
Because they give you the visual cues.
Because you can eventually just pick up stuff.
I feel like this is...
Remind me. Easier for me.
The prologue of this book was just her in the orphanage.
Yeah.
I didn't read the prologue.
God damn it.
But I really didn't.
I can't win. I know you do. It's on character.
No, I did read it. They were kids.
Yeah.
And it was kind of adorable.
Oh, so look at that.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna lie. That was what got me into the book. It kind of was that childhood friendship.
Oh, a prologue?
I'm a sucker for like a little boy and a little girl childhood friendship who grow up and like have these adventures.
How did you guys think of Mal? Because a lot of our followers say he sucked.
Okay.
I feel like that's a general consensus. He is pretty shitty in book one.
Can we agree we're not going to go too deep into the story of this? Let's just...
The story is just that. Alina tries to save her best friend.
Yeah.
She has his power. The power is what can save them through the Shadowfold, this big-ass black void. They're trying to get rid of the black void. The Darkling apparently is the one who created the black void 100 or something years ago or something like that. He's immortal. And so he's trying to use her to control the void, really, is what she doesn't know that. So she starts training all the Grisha people, and they're like all these people who have magic. Some people can move fire, some people can do water, I don't know, like all airbenders and shit. And so when they do that, she finds out through one of the people who are training her that the Darkling's actually trying to use her to create
that's how she
more.
finds out?
She finds out from his mom.
And she's his mom.
Okay, yes, it's the mom then.
So when she finds that out, then she goes off. There's apparently this stag, which is why there's like those horns on the book itself.
Yeah.
This
It's
stag,
an amplifier.
It's an amplifier.
It
So
amplifies
she's
power.
going for she is being told if she can get that amplifier, she can amplify her magic even more.
Did she get it in the chest?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a necklace. And so when she finds
She got
out
it in the
through the mom, it's like, oh no, that's for him to control you this entire time. You're
He
not
wants
going
you
to
to
be
be
free.
your slave, yeah.
You're going to be a slave. Runs away, finds Mal. Mal's apparently a very good tracker. I think he has some extra magic.
He does.
It's not said in book one.
Very
He does.
convenient that he's just the world's best tracker and is following her the entire
everything
book.
for these YA books. They're all convenient.
That's everything.
It's convenient that she
Very
has the
convenient
last
that she's
Sunbringer.
the Sunbringer.
Yeah.
It's a very no. That's a
Yeah.
You're following that story though,
Yeah, but the story
But he's part of her story.
and he's just convenient.
They're two orphans
it's
who arrive
convenient.
together. There's a weird thing about that.
You don't even know if that's his
convenient.
power, though.
No. It's convenient that like they get separated and he's constantly trying to track her, and he's also the world's best tracker.
Yeah,
It's a convenient
It's
plot point.
convenient that they were on the Shadowfold and all these things, and he was about to die, and she fucking lit up with light.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that
just a
one
different
time.
part in the story. It's a different time in the story, so it doesn't feel as convenient to you.
It's a plot point.
It's all fucking.
Let me finish
the
the
whole
story,
point.
so no one can say shit to us. So, towards the end of the book, the Darkling's now trying to track her. They find the stag, they kill the stag, they got that thing, and the amplifiers put on her.
Yeah,
And that's
is
the
that
end
how
of the
the
book.
end of the show is? It ends with
no,
okay.
no.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't wanna know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's YA
Because they might be setting something
I
up
know,
for
but
somebody.
I'm gonna say this in the same capacity that I said this to Harry Potter people. It's a YA. It's a child's book. It's a. If you think that the bad guy wins in
You're
a child's
wrong.
book, you got something else coming for you.
I'm not saying I don't want to be spoiled. I obviously know
Like, you
the
know
bad
the
guy's
good
not gonna
guy.
win.
You know the good guys win.
but I
But
don't
not how.
necessarily know if the Darkling is all bad. I don't know.
I don't
have no
either.
fucking
I don't
clue.
either.
He's
I don't
really
either.
bad.
But I don't know.
I have a booksta friend, and she had read
Well, I
Shadow
don't
and
wanna
Bone
know
already.
that. See?
But I asked
That's
her. I was like,
spoiling
I
it for
said,
me.
listen, I'm like really into this Darkling dude. Can I like him? And she's like, no, he's bad. I was like, yeah, but like, what's bad? Like,
Yeah, maybe
what
he's not.
constitutes
He's not.
bad?
He's not bad. Does she kiss him in the book?
Yeah, they get some hot and steamy.
Yeah, they-
scenes.
All right, wait.
got
Before
hot.
we go crazy off the rails like we always do, we were talking about Mal, and thank you for telling us the whole story. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
it's done. Mal, he's cool, but I feel like he's that other trope of like, you were always in front of me, but I never took made.
They said that. They said
I
that.
will say that, and I know I said Leigh Bardugo is one of my favorite writers, and I stand by that. I think Mal is one of the worst written characters I've ever read in my entire life.
Why is that?
There's literally nothing.
There's no substance.
There's no substance, and like he, like I don't know. Like was he a douche? Like in the beginning, he was kind of a douche. Like he
I mean, he boinked the Grisha girl,
and then all of a sudden he was a little jealous, and then
it came out of nowhere in the book to where he like natural. Shows his emotions to her.
It didn't feel good.
You know, the minute he started showing jealousy about the Darkling, I was like, when did you care?
Yeah.
She's been trying to be like close to you this entire beginning of the book, like through you guys in the camp.
Yeah.
And you're just like talking about other girls and golf with your bros.
It just felt very flat. He was a flat character.
In the show, he was very likable.
Yeah, that's
he was
good.
very attractive
because he's cute.
He's really cute. He's like undying love for her type thing. Like
they probably made it better in the show to show that he loves her.
I'm gonna say it, and I don't know, but like for sure. But I'm gonna say that I think the show writers created a better story and a better structure for the show, and made like what Leigh created and thought of as a storyline, and they really brought it to life in a way that like made it more interesting.
We have seen she's
and
capable.
Easier
she's absolutely capable.
To digest.
No, totally, and she's absolutely capable of writing these epic adult fantasy books. And I think that like she's writing in her genre. I think she knows what she's doing.
The Grishaverse. I'm not saying that it's not like good.
Yeah, it's
good. I'm interested. It's just. I need a little bit more padding of like what the fuck I'm like reading.
And I think that's fair. I don't know. I agree with you to an extent.
So like I just started, I mean this is literally on the way up here. On the way up here I put it on book on tape. I always fucking say it. Audiobook.
Why do you say book on tape?
Because that's what it used to be called.
Because she's 45 years old.
Yeah, but
it used to be a book on tape.
But not when you were alive.
Yeah. You didn't have books on tape?
They've always been CDs when I was a kid.
It's still a book
Maria,
on tape. No,
you've been to New Hampshire, right?
When I come to visit you.
And
I've had tapes. I've had
New Hampshire.
No, I've always had. When did CDs come out?
Well, you're younger than us, so.
By 2 years, not even.
I mean, I had books on tape.
I don't think that I have, but I think it's cool that you did. Like what tape? Like a tape recorder?
I used to have a tape like boombox that I would record my own voice on, but like not books.
I don't know. Y'all tell us. Did you listen to book on tape? I mean, we're 30. I mean, me and Erica are 30. You're what, 28?
I turned 29 in September.
You're almost 29. Okay. So people listening, do you remember books on tape?
Books, but like I would also call books on tape, but books on DVD or books on CD.
I've always just said audio.
But like tape is like
it's so specific to say tape.
Yeah.
Either way,
tape, what the
whatever.
fuck were you?
A Gen Z person would be like, how old are you, boomer? Like,
I started a YA novel.
Oh boy.
Which one?
The Black Witch.
I've never heard of it. Is it good?
Yes.
Do you like it?
So the reason that I'm bringing it up is because I listened to maybe 50 minutes of it or 35 minutes or whatever, however long it was.
Okay.
And there was a lot going on, but they like explained it kind of. You know what I mean? Like I got like a little sense of like what the fuck I was entering into, and it's a completely different world, completely new, like everything.
I have a question for you. I know you like books that insert you right away, like you're just thrown into the action, as you say.
Yeah.
Do you feel that could cause an issue? Like if I have to keep explaining to you what's going on, I feel like it'll slow things down.
I like when I'm like in it, and then it's like, all right, afterwards, let's go back.
She does that though.
Yeah, it's very much. She'll still explain it.
My problem is the random words. She'll like drop a word, and I'm like, is this a place? Is this a person?
It's up to you to figure out while you keep reading the context.
I understand.
That's confusing.
I get that's like kind of a lot for some people, but I don't know. There's something about that I like, because I'm like, oh, cool, we're not wasting time, and I kind of have to.
It's definitely a personal preference
for sure.
It's not like, I'm not saying like it's bad. It's just, to me, it's confusing. It slows me down when I'm reading.
There are times where I'm like, okay, this is that. Like there were times even reading that where I was like, I don't even know what this fucking is right now. And
I just skip over. I'm like, I'll figure out eventually.
I do too.
So when I watch the show and I'm like seeing the same scenes, and I'm like, well, this is a lot easier to compute. Like,
because it's visual.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing it. You don't have to imagine.
You don't have to like take the words and create something in your brain.
They did a really good job of like. Of doing that.
Fair. So we talked about Mal. What about the Darkling? I know you said
I loved him in the book.
You loved him. We don't know necessarily if he's bad. Here's the thing, like
Darkling can get it.
He was like this mysterious being in the beginning that I loved, right?
Yeah.
He was like, he came in with the darkness followed him, and I was like, oh, this dude seems kind of cool, right? And then, but immediately she comes into his court, and or not his court. Holy shit!
But it is kind of like a court.
Like a court.
Yeah, it is.
And immediately he's like charming, and I'm just like, okay, I already can see where this is going.
The bad guys always are.
Like I immediately knew. I knew like.
But I will say, the introduction of him and her having a thing was weird. It felt kind of fast.
It felt forced. It felt like all of a sudden he kissed her, and I was like, "What the
she
fuck?"
kissed him in the show.
No,
he kisses her
She
in the
wasn't
book.
interested at all in the book.
No, she was.
I think
But
she was
like
afraid of
fighting
him.
it.
She was. Yeah, she didn't want. She was all she was focused on was Mal. She's like, I got to get back to Mal. I'm obsessed with Mal. Which brings me into another thing I didn't like about this, and I know now this is going to turn into a rage read. And I fucking loved this book. I liked it. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing an Erica right now. I like this book, but here's what I hate about it. Her character, Alina.
Yeah.
I hate the I'm ugly and everybody else is hot trope.
That's very YA though.
I hate it. I hate that the whole book was her talking about how ugly she is and how she'll never be good enough.
And how
for Mal.
Mal's always looking at the pretty Grishas and she can't compare.
It was just something. It's something I can't. It's so fucking dumb because how are you going to make every single character hot? And then be like, well, I'm just a nobody. I'm just this. And maybe that's her own insecurities.
And I don't
but
know
it
if that's
just
because
feels
of an
like a
issue that
cop-out.
we as a society had back then where everybody has to relate to that they don't feel good enough in themselves.
That's exactly why I hate it. It's like,
And it's like,
that's
no,
what you want me
why-
to relate to.
You want me to relate to me feeling inadequate compared to my peers, which
Yes.
kind of sucks. Yeah.
I did not like that.
I agree with you.
But it's interesting that she kissed him in the show.
She kissed him in the show. and
What-
he-
how
and
did
he
that
steps
play out?
back. She kisses him and he steps back and he's like, not many things surprise me.
In the book, like he puts her up against a door and like
He's like, I'm
starts
gonna come.
to-
He's like, I'm gonna come to your room later.
Yeah.
Will you be there?
Yeah, he literally was like, I'm coming to your room
I wonder
later.
why they changed that.
Because
it's
it didn't
kind of
feel
predatory.
Yeah, well,
Especially she's a teen.
because it just didn't feel right.
So what ends up happening in the show is that she writes to Mal. Mal never responds.
That happened. Yeah.
What-
What's her
happened in the book?
face like
Yep.
takes all the letters and stuff. So then she erases her cut on her, like that one scar that she has on her palm.
There, you know how the kids always do, like
Yeah,
blood brothers.
she might have
or
done
whatever.
that. Yeah. She might have erased it. I don't remember.
So that she gets all upset, and it was like a whole sequence of like, I'm done with Mal, and then
Yeah,
she kisses
that happens
the
in the book
Darkling.
too, where she's like,
She was definitely upset with him.
He's not. He doesn't care about me anymore. I should stop worrying about him. I should
And
move
she was
on.
done with him, and then she kisses the Darkling,
Interesting.
which is weird. I'm calling him the Darkling because that was not his.
That's like only what I know him as.
But
Yeah,
I don't
know
even
if there's anything
know-
else.
What was his name? Alexander.
How did the scene play out with her killing them killing the amplifier? Well, she didn't kill him.
The stag.
The stag.
The Darkling goes wha-boom, and it fucking is a huge like dark
Slice.
wave that slices the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
that
in
was
half.
kind of scary in the book, like how it
That-
describes his power of slicing
goes-
things.
he goes
Yeah.
like wha-boom.
Well, I want to say that was my favorite scene in the entire book. That made the book kind of worth it to me. I think she wrote it really well. There was a moment where Elena and Mal were like approaching the stag, and she knows she has to kill it. She's like, I have to kill it. This is how I get it. This is how I win, essentially. And she gets close to it, and the deer or the stag like looks her in the eyes, and there's this moment where she's like, oh my god, this thing is like at peace. Like there's just this moment that was so
connection.
well written that I like kind of choked up a little bit because like I'm a sucker for animals. We went
Yeah.
over this. I can't read anything that has an animal being injured, about to be injured, talked about being injured.
Oh, that thing got fucking slaughtered.
Thank you. I was like, I don't know, I felt so emotional, and then he comes out of the woods, and I'm like, well, this fucking thing's gonna die, and I felt more connected to this stag in the middle of the woods in like that 4 minutes that I read that scene than I did in the entire book to any of the characters, and maybe that's bad, but then she fucking killed it.
I don't know how it played out in the book, but in the show it was kind of I'm gonna say sloppy as my adjective.
Sloppy.
Like it was like one of those things where she was like with it, and then like Mal was hurt, and the knife was over there, and instead of
Yeah.
going for the knife, she went for Mal, and like it was just like,
Yes.
oh my god,
That
I really
kinda,
was.
yeah, that's kind of how. Well, she was trying to protect the stag too. Like she didn't want it to die, and I was wondering if maybe there's
No,
some
Like, you
because
had no-
he'd
you had no
already
real
gotten
plan.
stabbed. Hadn't the stag already
No.
gotten stabbed?
No.
And she's like, I have to finish
He-
it.
no.
So that
It's
if I finish it, I have the amplifier. If I let him finish it, he has the amplifier.
No, she told Mal, kill me if anything happens. I
Right,
remember
right.
that.
But remember,
Mal shot it. I think Mal went to shoot it with his bow and arrow. I think Mal shot it.
I thought what happened was that from far, it got shot by Darkling people.
No, he
and
came
it was
in at the
bleeding
end.
out.
No, that was Mal. Mal shot it.
Oh.
because she hesitated.
Maybe I wanted
Either
something
way-
different to happen in my brain, so I read it differently.
Either way.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Either way, the moment that she had that connection with the stag made me think that maybe there's more to her power than just the
There's
light.
more to that moment than you think.
Yes, and if Leigh Bardugo doesn't go back to that, I'll be so disappointed. in
There
her.
is. It is.
Oh,
In the show.
Remember when you didn't want her to talk about the show?
I'm just glad that I came to that conclusion, and I'm fucking right.
It's not like life changing, but it's like
I wanted it to be life changing.
it's important.
Maybe it's
I don't
not
know.
life changing to Erica.
What are your final thoughts on Shadow and Bone?
I gave
Round
it a
robin.
4. I gave it a 4. I would give it like a 3.75, right? But round it up to a 4.
Okay.
It was good. It wasn't like amazing, but I did enjoy it. It was a good, fun, quick read.
Yeah.
I don't rate shows off of 1 to 5 scale, so I'm going off a 10 scale.
Okay. Don't know how the difference, but
There isn't one. Just a larger scale.
It's a larger scale. IMDb only does 10.
Okay, what did you
See
give?
what I
the
mean?
what
fucking
did you
show?
give it?
If I had to rate the show, I'd probably give it 6.5.
So that'd be
Maybe
about like a 2.9 on the 5 scale.
Maybe a 7.
Maybe a 3.
Maybe. Depending.
Mm-hmm,
My problem that I think that I would come across is that the Shadow and Bone show was egregiously better because of the Six of Crow characters.
And that's probably why they added it.
Egregiously.
Did you read Six of Crow?
No.
Do you want to read Six of Crow?
If it's the exact same storyline, no, but then I'll read Crooked
I
Kingdom.
don't know if it is. I feel like they're
don't
in the
either.
same universe, but I don't think
I don't know. I don't either.
Kaz and them is related to Alina at all. But I could be completely wrong. I haven't read the book.
We just get so many recommendations for Six of Crows. People
I know.
really
Yeah,
love
I
those
have the
books.
book. I have the
Especially
book.
Crooked Kingdom.
I kind of want to read them.
I want to, but I
I
don't
want to read Ember in the Ashes first. I'm not. gonna start
I'm
it.
in that right now, and I love it
That's
so
on our
much.
list. That's on our list.
It's on our list. Yeah.
My-
So Six of Crows
I've
is
been like
back burner.
True.
just taking it slow with that one.
So
Okay, go on.
was it a good show? Yes, it was a good show. Yes, I'll watch season 2. Am I going to read the Shadow and Bone books? No, I'm absolutely fucking not going to. Will I read the Six of Crow duology? Possibly.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Later.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. Young adult isn't something I read a lot of, but when I do, I find myself really enjoying it, and here's why. I've said this since the beginning. The purpose of me reading and why I read and why I like reading is because I want to enter a world that is not our own. I want to be completely immersed in said world. I want to have nothing to do with reality for a couple hours. I'm not saying I don't enjoy reality. I'm just saying
get you.
I love different worlds. I love pretending that I'm in the fucking snow globes during Christmas time. I just like different worlds. I enjoyed this because I got enough of that for me to be happy. It felt like a different time period. It felt like a different world. I got the words that I didn't understand that I figured out towards the end, and I really enjoyed that. The characters, I don't know. I don't care. Stop fucking yawning when I talk. My God. Into the microphone nonetheless, like bend down or something. Jeez Louise. I think this podcast is a mess. Whoever you are, you're absolutely right. And that's it. That's it. What do we have for recommendations. I have a recommendation.
You're on a roller coaster right now.
Yeah, we're just here for the ride.
We're just here.
Guys, I have a recommendation. This is insane.
All right, go for it. Go. What's your recommendation?
I don't know if I recommend it though, but I've been listening
so
to.
then it's not a recommendation.
I've been listening to Alexandra Bracken's series. I don't even know what the series is called, but I'm the third one, which is called In the Afterlight. I think it's like something darkness series, but it's young adult. I'm on the third book. It's actually taken me a while to get through the third one, but I do enjoy it, and that's the only young adult book that I can recommend because it's the only one that I've read.
I can recommend several.
All right, let's hear them.
I've recommended this before, but if you're looking for a different world, a female that's in power and like she's our center and found family kind of thing, Ray Bear by Jordan Fuenco is so good.
Cool.
And the sequel's coming soon.
Nice.
I mean, the Cinder series, that's like that's the retellings of the Disney princesses.
No.
They're sci-fi though, so like Cinderella's like a cyborg.
Okay, so just read the freaking Grimm Brothers or whatever.
Why you gotta be rude?
Honestly, I'm gonna recommend The Black Witch. I'm only maybe like
You're into it?
60 pages in, or I don't even know what the equivalent is for audiobook. But I'm in.
You
all
like
in.
it?
Yeah.
Wait, it's
Okay.
called The Black Witch. Can you give me a little bit of what it's about? I'm debating if I want to read it.
Is there smut? Are you gonna be okay if there's no smut?
There's very little smut, but there is
very
romance.
little or like no smut, because if it's YA, smut is not a thing.
There's none until the third book.
So do you like? Is it different worlds?
It's a witch who like is supposed. I think she's gonna be the most powerful witch ever. Her grandmother was the most powerful witch ever, and it's just like she goes to college for like I think it's apothecary.
I like
and
this.
she's like a tree witch.
This sounds awesome. Okay, I'm in. You said tree witch, and I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
She's
She
Tree
like
hugger.
she can touch wood and
Done.
she knows like what kind of wood it is and like what sound
Done.
it'll make and like it's
I'm
interesting.
not interested in that.
Is it? I'm so into it.
Sorry.
You said woods, and I was here.
It's just touching a tree. It's like, this is pine.
That's fucking dope. Do you know how bad I wish I could do that?
So she makes like instruments.
That's awesome.
That's different. But like, it's
You can grow the sick like
I'm
fruit.
sorry. You like the woods. Me, remember, I
That's
don't
a
care.
sick power.
No.
Yes.
Making instruments is cool, but coming up and knowing what kind of tree it is by touching it is ridiculous
But
to
she
me.
can like
downloading
it
it.
like resonates other things within her
That's-
too.
yeah.
Like she can tell
for
like
sure. But the
how
way
old it
the way
is
you
or
said
like
it,
awesome.
the way you said it,
I
There's
think
so
it's,
much
I think there's
history.
gonna be more to like
It was
the
like the
wood
bucket
situation.
of water all over again.
Jesus Christ.
that's like the Vine Witch that I read.
Yeah.
Where all she does is make wine. That's her.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
her witch power.
I love
I get
that.
it.
That's cool.
But
Was
just
that
the-
good?
It was okay. Mid tier.
Anyway,
But yeah, no smut. I'm a little concerned about it, but here we are.
This podcast's a fucking mess.
Like you're about to end it.
I was
She's
so
just like, yeah. So
Yo, I was so pumped about season 3. I was like, new us, new season, new me. And I think it's worse.
Same chaos.
I think it's gotten worse, dude. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Books and Betches.
Follow
you
us
would
on
be
Instagram.
so kind as to follow us on Instagram, books_and_Betches. Look us up on YouTube. Just search
The
up.
YouTube.
Which actually,
Erica's
my
thing-
episode post?
Erica, did it
your
post?
video posted today.
Oh shit! I gotta like it.
We have to like we have to promote it.
Guys, we're like actually posting content on the YouTube, and now that I've finally moved, I might actually.
17 views so far.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that yet.
We
Actually.
haven't even promoted it.
The YouTube.
Oh, we got a comment.
Oh god.
I just bought the Bargainer series and I read only the first novel, but it has some grammatical errors and this is hard pass for me. I can't get into the second book. I never DNF a book, but I gave up after the second chapter. People love this book. I don't get the hype.
Same.
I didn't notice the grammatical errors.
Because you liked it.
I didn't notice the grammatical errors though.
I don't notice grammatical errors.
usually do.
Yeah, you usually do. I don't notice grammatical errors when I am in a book.
Yeah, me neither.
I just don't care.
Yeah, so follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, do all those things. Please, if you can, I know it's a lot of work, please go over and rate our podcast however you want. Obviously, we read everything because that one negative comment got the best of us. But
No, we're just saying it happened.
it got the best of me. But I read them and I get something out of them. Am I gonna are we gonna
We
change
tried.
the way we do
We
this?
tried.
Clearly fucking not. If anything,
Again,
we're
we
gonna make it
listen,
worse.
we agree. We just
We
are
just won't
just
change.
not doing anything
We just
about
have
it.
work. Thank you guys so much for following us and all that other shit. I don't know how to end this. I guess we'll just see you in the next one.
Ciao, ciao.
Nightmare.